Well, Dennis, just how impressive was that win for Liverpool? 5-0 in Porto.
Well, I looked at the two results last night and I thought the English clubs have done very well. I think tonight that has really topped it. You know, I think the performance of Liverpool and going to Porto, very difficult place to go to, and winning 5-0 and the Three Musketeers getting the goals as well. So,
Steve, did you see that coming at all?
No, I think obviously you look at the form Porto have been in, especially at home. I think there were shouts, wasn't there, before the game about possibly staying in the tie and taking it back to Anfield on a special night there for Champions League football. But I mean, that's throwing down some mark of that on the rest of the teams there that are going for the competition.
And Mo Salah, 30 goals for the season in 36 games.
Phenomenal.
Again, another incredible goal as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, phenomenal. I mean, that from a wide area as well. A player that's playing in confidence, good form, anything that he does at the minute just seems to rub off. And for other players around him, it's got to be a joy to play with.
Frustrating thing about that is actually he was at Chelsea, and you look at that and you think how well he's done since being loaned out of Fiorentina and then to Roma, and obviously going to Liverpool and performing in the manner that he's performed.
Well, why do you think it didn't work at Chelsea?
Sometimes these players unfortunately go in there and it just doesn't work. The manager doesn't fancy you. Certain players he prefers over you. You don't get the chance that you like. And I think the belief in the manager and in the player, and I think Klopp has taken him under his wing and he's believed in him. He's given him the chance to perform, and I think he's got a real understanding as well. I think with Mane and Firmino, you know, I think their understanding is something very special at the moment. And they seem to be in the right places and find each other. And I think their performance tonight was outstanding, the three of them.
What bracket would you put him in right now, in terms of the Category A, top-class players in the world, or just a little bit under?
Well, he's proven it at the moment, isn't he? I mean, to score, 30 goals from wide area, all types of different finishes, his pace, his link-up play with everyone. And he's slowly becoming, quickly becoming a fan's favourite there for sure. But to do it on the European stage as well, obviously in his first season, he's got to be backing that up to be in there with the true greats. Is
it putting too much pressure on him to be saying he's scoring Lionel Messi type goals?
Well, that one tonight certainly was, wasn't it? I mean, the touch, the flick over someone's head, and then to put it in there from the 6-yard box. It's a nice comparison to have, one I'd certainly like to have. But yeah, I mean, that goal was superb and full of praise.
In terms of, they don't seem to be missing Philippe Coutinho at all, do they? Who's the better player right now, Coutinho or Salah? Have they sold the right player for the right price and kept the right player?
I think the price they've got is a price that they really couldn't turn down. For Coutinho, you know, 142 million, close to whatever it was, and bringing in Salah for 35 million. You know, you look at it, you think, yeah, good business by Liverpool, by Klopp, whoever decided to do that business. I think everyone looked at Coutinho going out and went, oh, he's going to be a hell of a miss. But no one expected what Salah was going to do this season, and the performances. But not only him, I think he's got some teammates around him. As I mentioned earlier, you know, Mane and Firmino, I think they've created chances for him and performed as well. And I think as a pairing, I look at them and I think they're as good as what you see at the moment in the Premier League.
You still get the votes in the PFA Premier League. Where would your vote go? I mean, how much would you be thinking about Mo Salah?
Well, obviously he's in that bracket, isn't he, at the moment with the Agueros and Harry Kanes, and listen, he'll definitely get his share. And if he's not in the team, then it will be a shock. But I think with Liverpool in general, they're devastating in their transition from defence to attack. I mean, they're so fast. They attack at speed, they attack at numbers, and we've all seen how many goals that they can score throughout the season. It's just obviously the other end that sometimes is a problem.
I heard Stuart Pearce saying on the radio today that you judge a team by their forward players. How good is Liverpool with their forward players? Well,
they're proven, aren't they? I mean, the goals that they're scoring, not just them. Obviously, you look at the likes of PSG, Real Madrid, these front three, they're winning games for them.
Are they up there with the very best? Is it the best front three in Europe?
Of course it is. I mean, at the moment, the stats doesn't lie. I mean, I think they scored the most goals in Champions League group stage, which is a record, and then they've backed it up tonight with a 5-0 win. They're all slowly throwing down a marker to say, listen, watch out for us.
Do you agree with that, Dennis?
I do, but you also got to look at Man City 3. They're not bad either, and they're up there as well along with them. So
which one's the best for you?
Me, I would, at this present time, I would go for the Liverpool 3. I think they're performing in this period, they're so clinical, and I think I would put them in front at the moment.
In goal, Loris Karius got the number 1 slot. Looks like he's going to be getting it for the Champions League as well as the Premier League. Do you agree with that?
Look, he's only had a short spell in there, and I think that there's one position that I think Liverpool lack. I think it's always been a slight problem for them. I think it's a position that they need to, at some stage, to address. Yeah, he's probably doing okay at the moment.
Can they win the Premier League in seasons to come? Can they win the Champions League this season with him in goal?
You know what? I'm not 100% sure. I look at the back four and I look at them that played tonight, and Lovren as well is someone that I'm not convinced at the moment. I think Matic is probably slightly better. I know he changed him tonight and swapped him over, but just in certain positions in the Liverpool area at the back is somewhere where I would be a little bit worried, because I think as other teams would cause them problems. Although at the moment they're performing extremely well, it's just positions that I think they could improve on.
It was a bold decision, wasn't it, from Klopp, to, in January to address that, to identify, right, we need a centre back, go and get Van Dijk, change the keeper around.
Because in terms of save percentage, neither the two of Liverpool goalkeepers are particularly high in the Premier League.
Yeah, for me, if you're looking at a goalkeeper to go to a top club, you've got to look at Jack Butland. For me, I've played with him at Stoke. I know, obviously, at the moment they're down the bottom end of the league, but for me, he's definitely up there, and I'm sure if he did go to a top club, then he could be there for the next 8 to 10 years. He's at a good age, and he can definitely achieve that.
In terms of what we've seen, and still, we're in the round of 16, so we have to be a little bit reticent here. But are we looking at the Premier League getting back to dominating Europe, do you feel?
It's been a while, hasn't it? I think, we've done okay in stages, quarterfinals, and we've also, we won it in 2012 with Chelsea. But it has been a while, and I think we got to a stage where we were thinking the Premier League is a top league to play in. But for a period of time, we never quite made it. And I think this year, looking at the personnel, the teams that are in from the Premier League, we've got 5 teams in there. And I think all 5, have a really good chance. I think out of them, I think Chelsea have the most difficult tie against Barcelona. I think it's going to be very, very difficult. But I look at it, and wouldn't it be wonderful to see that 5 English teams in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, I think would be a statement, and that's what I'd love to see. Whether or not that happens, we'll have to wait and see, because there's a few tough games still to go in the Champions League. It's not over for Spurs. They've got obviously Juventus. That's not over. I know they played extremely well. And obviously, the other one that worries me is the Barcelona game against Chelsea. I think that is going to be a really, really difficult tie for us.
What's your feeling, the way the Premier League are doing, how they're doing in Europe right now? Do you get the feel that even if not this year, then over the next maybe 2 or 3 years, that the domination will come back? Do you think it will happen this season?
Well, for me, it's been the best league in the world for a number of years now. Obviously, the Spanish league is up there. Obviously, the German league, you can't take much notice of the French league, but the proof is in the pudding here that we've got 5 teams in there. Obviously, listen, you need a bit of luck along the way. You look at obviously Man City's draw; they would have been over the moon with the draw that they picked out, and also Liverpool really getting Porto. It was still a good draw. You need luck. You have to obviously have quality, and all English teams are showing at the moment.